Right. I'd like to give you a quick update on the IGS infrastructure. Thank you. So we are continuing expanding our IGS network where necessary and to enhance the multi-GNSS and real-time capabilities. At the moment, we have around 520 stations in the network, distributed amongst 116 countries or regions. You can see in the last 2 years, we accepted 28 new stations in the network, decommissioned 11. And you could also see on the map with the blue square markers, these are the new stations. So we had a bit of a focus in the Americas, so in North and South America, as well as in Southeast Asia. You also see that we still have a gap on the African continent, where we hope, in collaboration with the UN, GGCE, and also with the FIG Commission 5 to fill our gaps there. 3 examples from recently added stations. On the left side, you see one station built in Laos, in the center, one in Brazil, and on the right side is a station in one of the Caribbean islands, on one of the Dutch Caribbean islands at the end. To support station operators in building and maintaining stations, we assist them by providing guidelines for continuously operating reference stations. These were published last year. And in the meantime, we started to translate these guidelines to different languages, such as German, French, and Spanish. And we made them available not just as PDF, but on a dedicated website, which makes it a bit easier to maintain all of these different languages. For the data centers, so we have 6 global and 7 regional data centers at the moment, which perform on a heterogenic level. So we commenced the survey to better understand the risks around the management and access to the IGS data. And what we did find is that we have a high dependence on CDDIS, which is also the largest archive. We don't have any synchronization between data centers. There's also no consistent approach to data validation, and information security remains the biggest threat also to our reputation. Therefore, we started to develop a charter to support these data centers to basically bring them on a higher level. Furthermore, something new that we are developing at the moment. So we built a task force on exploring also cloud-native storage formats. We would like to provide recommendations on a schema and an implementation for RINEX observation, navigation, and logical data. So the people who actually analyze data in the cloud can do that without relying on RINEX. We want to provide a feasibility analysis for these data centers. And the main advantages of using non-ASCII based database storage formats is that we only need to store one version of the original data set, so we don't have any redundancies. We can query data on demand and as needed. So we have no fixed file length. We can support then different RINEX versions with different filter options. So, and at the end, we would like to empower revolutionary science with coming up with modern formats. For the metadata part, we officially moved the Geodesy ML standard from Geoscience Australia to the IGS GitHub repository. We finalized version 06 release to improve the fairness of the metadata. But I also need to say that we're currently moving these activities to the GGOS Committee on Data and Information Systems. and we will hear a bit later from Taylor about this. And for the currently still relevant ASCII site logs, we are transitioning those at the moment to utilize the ISO alpha 3 codes in the IGS site logs and also other related metadata. Yeah. As a summary, we work to ensure that the IGS infrastructure is fit for purpose. We would like to support capacity building in underrepresented regions to grow the network. We advocate the importance for information security to improve the resilience of the infrastructure. And we would like to explore modern standards, data storage, and access methodologies to improve the fairness of the IGS metadata and data. All right, so thanks.
Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. Would you mind telling if you are planning on updating the commissioning stations?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that we are working on a policy for the inclusion and the exclusion of stations, because we currently have a lot, not a lot, but we have a few stations that are long-term absent. But at the moment, we don't have a policy to formally decommission them from an IGS point of view. At the moment, we wait until the agency says, hey, we no longer maintain a station. But we would also bring us into a better position to say, yeah, your station is offline for 2 years. Thanks.